Hello, and welcome back to Jack's Coffee Break. My name is Jack, and today we are going to be looking at the South America pack. We're starting off with the llamas because, in my opinion, they are the most iconic of all of the South American animals. But, of course, with a build pack, we've got build pieces to cover too. So anyway, without much further ado, let's get into it. Moving back in the timeline, we come to the South America pack. And I have notes. I have a lot of notes about this one. So, let's address the elephant in the room. Technically speaking, you get the full 230 or whatever the number is pieces in this pack. But practically speaking, no you don't. No, you really don't. Let's look at just the build kit for a second. So this is one of the gridded wall pieces, and here is another one. And you'll notice that this one is normal looking, and this one is like bright red. This is the DLC that introduced FlexiColor in a big way. This was it. And Frontier wasn't really sure how they were going to implement this. Well, it's the most efficient method. And it shows. All of these red pieces here, these are FlexiColor. And the truth is that if you just work with your palette a little bit, you can get something pretty much approximating the base color of over there. We didn't need a duplicate set of non-FlexiColor and FlexiColor materials. It would have been better if these had just all been FlexiColor. And the fact that they're not, and we get duplicates that bloats out the part count, so you're not actually getting as much as you think you're paying for, I think is a detriment to this pack. But again, I recognize that it is a symptom of its time. This is one of those cases where you can't go back and have a DLC redo, or a remaster, or a reconfiguration, or a touch-up. It just is what it is. And this is what we get. If this was FlexiColor, I would say that these would be some of the most useful pieces. You get to build ruins, which it's really cool to be able to build habitats with ruins in it, Lots of jungle gym potential for all of the animals that would use it. You get these wonderful stair pieces, you get weird window looking things. This big heavy block set that otherwise could be very useful. As things stand, this is the only color you get, so it's not blending into the rest of your pieces, or the rest of your pieces need to blend into this. So, you do get some rubble, which is really nice, but it's not FlexiColor, which is sad. I've got all of these pieces out. Again, if you see it in red, there is a non-FlexiColor version. But there's a lot of these pieces where, again, there's a non-FlexiColor that only exists in its own form. And then there's FlexiColor that also duplicates up into non-FlexiColor. But, rather uniquely, we do get these metal, like, gold pieces, which is really cool. We've got this gold wall covering, this gold trim, gold end caps. Here are the three styles, so here's this shape, and then this shape. Just showing them off in the three versions, you have gold, FlexiColor, and standard stone. You get these interesting little end cap things. So not everything is going to be available in gold. If it can be in gold, I've already pulled it out, or it's the gold version of these two plates. A lot of potential in this pack. Not all of it used. Next up, let's go to our signage, quote-unquote. We have these wall decoration mural things that kind of remind me of carpets. So we've got a lot of llamas. We've got our frog. We've got our jaguar, capuchin monkey, anteater. And then just some parrots and monkeys and a flower, and yeah. Easter Island heads. Done in the style of Planko humans. Neat! I've never used these, but maybe you love them. They're cool looking. Very, very situational, but nice to have. Another tiki torch. This butterfly is actually a wall light, and it is completely FlexiColor. So, if you want a monarch, for example, this is to change the light, so we can turn it orange. That's not quite a monarch, but whatever. And it will glow in the dark. So, pretty nice. I like it as sort of an environmental effect. It's, I don't know, it's handy. And then we get to a whole bunch of stylized doors. All of this feels very Peruvian to me, which I like. It's pretty cool. But it does make it difficult once you get up into, like, Central America. It doesn't necessarily fit in. This is very Peruvian coded. Along with the map that was introduced in this DLC. You get more bamboo pieces, so you get a bamboo build set along with these uneven sort of bamboo wall sections. If it is bright green, it is flexicolor. If it is yellow, it is not flexicolor. So again, we're having duplicates of items that didn't need to be duplicated. We've got more of these little rope things. These do snap. If you need to use the snapping tool, you can do that. Next up are our signage. So we had our murals over there. Got some signage over here. Really nice that we've got this kind of Machu Picchu looking temple. I love all the different plants. I love the style of the plants. We get the two signs for the capuchin monkey and the frog. And then we get this sort of Aztec-looking kind of statue for this jaguar. And then we've got the gold Cusco statue for the llama. It's interesting. And then you get some wood pieces. Overall... Oh yeah, and then the thatch. You get the thatch. Overall, this is such a weird pack. On the one hand, it has so much potential. And if you're willing to use it in the limited ways it will allow itself to be used, you can get a lot of mileage out of it. Again, the ruined temple sections. You can pull so much out of. The thatch, it's really nice because it's thin thatch. You know, most of the thatch that we get is pretty thick and chunky. This is probably the lightest it ever gets. And I do believe that this is also flexicolor now too. Yes, it is. Pretty good. Pretty good. You get some murky waterfall pieces. You get some Spanish hanging moss, which, my goodness, if you're going to build in South Central America or in the southern United States, you need this stuff. It's all over the place. It is ubiquitous. This actually helps to set the place of where you're building, so I would recommend this part. You get a ton of flowers, so you got these little air hanging bromeliads, then you get a ton of, like, the cover foliage. These are flexicolor, so this is their base, and then here's me just sort of messing around with it. You get these bright pink flowers that can be turned any other color. I turned mine into blue. And then you get these orchids. These are not flexicolor, but they're pretty overall. Trees, you get the, what is this, Cricopia tree? Caesaropea tree. I've been saying that wrong for years. And then the Brazil nut tree, which make for pretty good treehouse trees. So if you want, like, gonna tower over you, these are good for that. You get this mossed over log kind of looking thing. This can be really nice for climbing frames. But let's go ahead and talk about the animals, right? So you get the poison dart frog, who I will show you in a little bit. You get the llama. Llama looks really good, especially for an older model. Her technology has progressed a long way, but this is looking pretty solid. We have the white-faced capuchin monkey. This is, I believe, our only New World monkey. So, hope you like them. Here they are. Then you have the jaguar, who looks lovely. Really, really cool. So we have the normal-looking jaguar, and then we have the melanistic black jaguar. Iconic, of course, to the region. Overall, very good. Their models are really nice. They don't quite have that cutesy look. They look a little bit more fierce. But that being said, They're less cutesy, but they're still plain as cutesy. The llamas come in a ton of variations, by the way. So here's a solid black one. Here's a brown piebald. Here's another brown piebald. We've got... Oh, you're an anteater. And you're a sleeping anteater. You're in a weird little position there. But yeah, the llamas have a lot of variation to them. And then lastly, yeah, looking at the anteater. Very good overall. Silly looking animals. Just crazy looking. And they do, of course, come with their termite feeder enrichment, in case you're worried about that. They do have it. Here is your poison dart frog. Or, red-eye tree frog, I should say. Again, looks great. It's maybe a bit cartoony, but these guys already kind of do look cartoony, so, you know. It's maybe a little bit excessive on this model, but it doesn't look bad, per se. Plus, it's an exhibit animal. You're hardly ever going to get to see him. So, overall thoughts about this pack. Again, the fact that a lot of the pieces get doubled up because of the fact that Frontier either didn't know what they were doing or thought they could slip one by us, and I'm going to lean towards didn't know what they were doing, is disappointing. There is a lot of potential that I think this pack had. I wish that they had just made all of the pieces for the bamboo and the like big stone block ruins and that whole build kit. I wish they had just made it flexicolor. Just no default texture, just make it flexicolor. And then flesh out the rest of this with more Central America pieces, because Central America is the part of the world that I struggle to build for, even up to now with all of the different packs that we've had. It just eludes me. I think that this had a lot of potential, but a lot of it was squandered because they just didn't know what they were doing, you know? And it shows, and this is the price that we had to pay for it. Is it worth your money? Again, it really depends on who you are. If you're the kind of person who wants to have these pieces regardless of their problems, if you are the kind of person who needs to have South American animals and like a huge variety of them, yeah, you're gonna love this pack. This is a really good one to get, especially for the animals. But the build pack, for me, I find it to be, again, one of my least used in the entire game. And it's just because it does not have the flexibility that Flexicolor should have brought. But yeah, so that is the South America Animal Pack. It's a bit of a weird one, but I have to say I really love the animals that are included with it. It definitely makes it worth the price tag. Anyway, hope you'll join me next time when we cover another DLC. Stay safe, have fun, and happy building.